So you guys know I'm a massive fan of Conan, the board game. I love how it plays, skirmish-type miniature game, and the sculpts are really fantastic for something mass-produced, board game miniatures. I love the resource management of how the Overlord works, how the heroes work, how literally the elegance of this system, and I pushed this up, my review of it, but I think it's important to kind of mention the elegance of the system where you can really do whatever you want in real time, in interactive. It's not a you go, I go, Overlord goes, heroes get 3 activations and they're done type game. It's a very, very unique engine. And look, I love the Conan IP. Any chance to play Conan is just like, I'm sold on there. So I've been following Monolith, who has produced the game. They've also released the Batman version, Gotham City Chronicles, which is the same mechanic, the Overlord mechanic that they use, only set in the Batman universe. I caught a real break. I didn't have to buy in on that because my buddy Naps is all about Batman, everything Batman, and just, he's got that. It's painted. It's awesome. Pretty much we can play it anytime. I can text him right now. You ready? And he's like, come over. We're going to do Batman. So I saved a lot of money not having to go into that because I like the Batman IP and I enjoy that too. I mean, look, a chance to play Batman? Yeah, absolutely. But what's interesting is I've been waiting for they were going to do Conan 2.0, Conan Wave 2. Monolith was going to push out the next Conan installment. And anytime there's a second edition, there's this question, Zombicide second edition too. If you have the first, do you buy in? Is it going to complement it? Is it going to replace it? If it replaces it, if you love the IP, even if it replaces it, are you going to play your old collection? And even if you get the new one, in terms of cycling out the old one and trading it away, you're going to have to eat a little bit of it because you're not going to get, secondhand value because there's a new edition. There's a lot of questions out there with it. And I missed the Kickstarter for the first Conan. I don't know how I did that. I missed it. So I just have what's available for retail. Missed out on the Dragon. Super sad face on that. So part of me is like, okay, if 2.0 rolls around, I'll buy in on that, even though the first edition, I have no complaints about it. Amazing game, one of the top 5 games that I play. But now what I see, and this is interesting, the mechanics, it makes sense for Monolith, but I think it really depends on how they implement it, whether they go full greed mode or not. And certainly I'm not adverse to small gaming companies making money on there, Absolutely, they have to. It's capitalism. This is where we go. On a side note, and maybe it's just me, I'm going to say a statement, and it might be polarizing here, and I could be right, I could be wrong. Just what some guy in New York has noticed playing board games and enjoying board games. French board game designers seem to be the best. I don't know what it is, but not so much the IP or the titles, but the underlying mechanics have been some of the most innovative, naturally organic, and fun, just fun stuff to play. I don't know. There's just Ameritrash board games are like, let's just throw more miniatures at it on there. And the rules, are secondary. They might be good. They might not, but you're blinded by the bling in the miniatures. But consistent designs from French board game designers have just been very, very innovative. Some amazing ideas where you're like, how did someone think of that on there? And again, not in terms of complexity, but just naturally organic, just really interesting. Okay, so back to Conan. Monolith now announces that, and this makes sense, they're going to do an engine. They're going to take the mechanics of Conan, the mechanics of Batman, and they're going to release a core box that is the components that runs this engine. Maybe like a video game console. And then you can buy the various IPs and plug them in. So I've got my core box, which is just the mechanics. You can't play a game with it. But then I can buy the Conan box and play Conan. I can buy the Batman box and play Batman. I can do, whatever else they're going to have and plug it in. So it's essentially a plug-and-play engine game. Where have I seen this before? Time Stories. Time Stories, it's interesting as it is. You have the core box, which has an adventure path. It has a time story on there to play to get you started, and it's pretty good. But it's essentially the components, the engine, the analog guts, the analog mechanics of the game. And then you buy these other time modules, which are adventures, and you play them using the core. So it's not a big box expansion. The adventures for Time Stories are not expansions. They're the actual game. It's plug and play, but on a smaller scale. You're talking about a core game, and the expansions are literally a deck of cards to play the Time Story. Monolith is doing a full miniature-based game. Part of me is looking at this and saying, well, if I just wanted Conan, part of me wonders the level of support. If I just wanted Conan, I don't want to have to buy a core box and then buy the Conan module. Just for crom's sake, just give me Conan. But if they can secure other IPs that are both well-known or innovative, if they could do, I buy the core box and they put Conan out, I'm in. They put Batman out. Well, since normally I wouldn't buy it because my buddy will pick that up. But if I have the core mechanical box, the analog guts to play it, why not? I'll pick up Batman. It'll be less than buying a core. I don't know if they announced it. I have the first Clusterphobia. Again, an amazing game designer. If they re-release that to use this core, I'd buy that. I'd be interested in that IP. So it could work. It could be very, very interesting with it. I won't say it's a risk, but if I was sure that all the titles that they would release, absolutely I would be in. But if I wanted just one title to kind of double pay up front, I don't know. But again, innovative as hell. I mean, just absolutely innovative. Very, very interesting concept on there. An interesting twist to Conan 2.0. What do you guys think of that? In terms of a board game design, are we going to see more of that? Are you going to see more of where it's putting forward and pushing forth, hey, here's your core game module, and now buy the actual pieces of the game separately?